back to the Simpleton Review. This week we are going to be talking about a movie. That's right, a movie. But first, let me tell you who we are. I am Nate Simpleton.
And I'm Charlie Simpleton.
I'm Lemuel Simpleton.
And we are the simplest of simple people. And we are reviewing not so simple movies. So forgive us if we screw it up. All right? That's all I'm going to say. This week we're talking about The New Mutants, 2020. Superhero film based on Marvel Comics, of course. By the same name. What a shocker. It's put out by 20th Century Studios, because 20th Century Fox doesn't exist anymore, right? Because Disney bought it. It's the 13th and final installment of the X-Men film series. That's fascinating. I'd actually like to find out what happened to these kids after this movie.
No.
No?
No, yeah, I agree.
I they said, no.
Nah, I don't care about them anymore.
Yeah, okay. Look, all right. The film was directed by Josh Boone from a screenplay he wrote with, it's the weirdest spelling. I don't know if it's a woman or a guy, but it's Knate. It's Knate Radio. I swear to God. Knate Radio directed this movie. And
it's
stars
probably Kanate or Nate.
Yeah, or maybe it's just Nate. Who knows? Mayasi Williams, Anna Taylor-Joy, who's a fantastic young actress, Charlie Heaton, Alicia Braga, Blue Hunt, and Henry Zaga, which Charlie Heaton or Henry Zaga, one of those two is the dude off of Stranger Things.
Yes.
Anna Joy Taylor is fantastic. She was in the movie called The Witch.
Yep.
Oh my God. What a great movie. And she did a fantastic job. And of course, she's also the star of The Queen's Gambit on Netflix and does a great job on there as well. So anyways, the movie is about a group of young mutants held in a secret facility and a fight to save their lives. Now, are they being trained up to be X-Men? Or are they being held by the evil Essex Corporation? That is for you to watch the movie and to find out. So, what did you guys think of The New Mutants? Who wants to go first? Lemuel, why don't we go with you?
Okay. Well, there was a lot going on here. That would be my first.
All right. That is a quote. That's a quote. That quote is going to go on this video.
So in terms of trying to decide like what genre this movie was trying to fit, I was confused. I don't know if we were trying to watch some horror thriller type thing, or if this was some teenage drama, or if this was a superhero movie.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I had a hard time placing it, and I feel like as a horror movie, it would have been solid if, like, you know, if we got rid of the superpower element. Or as a superpower movie, if it was a little less horror themed, maybe it would have been really good too. But I don't know. It was crazy.
I agree.
Go ahead.
I would say it was a lot scarier than I was expecting. I've got to say that. In fact, I felt like it was more scary as a PG-13 movie than a lot of these scary PG-13 movies are. Like, I don't think this one was trying to be scary, but it was scary.
Those people from the blonde chicks cast. Yeah. Oh my goodness!
It's like some sort of Slenderman ripoff.
Yeah, but
did you hear who? Did you read in the credits who did that person's voice? That smiley face. It was Marilyn Manson.
Oh, of course.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Hey, look at that.
Charlie, surprise!
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. I think it was. I think I understand why it was hard to watch, because it was cut like a comic book. I mean, everything was done in like little vignettes to like bring the cast together. They had to describe everybody, and so everything flowed like a comic, just slightly disjointed. And then once they tried to get everybody together, it just kind of muddied the water, so it made it a little less fun, a little less story driven. More of like just I mean, if they would have done this as a miniseries, it would have been fantastic. Because I think they could have taken more time and gotten everything together. But for the look, you wouldn't have been able to do it without the movies. The production quality of getting those evil creatures that look like a Guillermo del Toro kind of creature from the dark side, and the image of the bear. The bear's imagery, like when they first reveal that it's tied to the character, like how the character's tied to it, and they're like so close. That's something, I mean, I can imagine seeing that in the comic, and probably I have, because I've read some of those comics before, and can imagine like the artwork that would do, and they brought it to life well. I mean, they did a really good job artistically of bringing the comic to like live action.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why it's so creepy, is because they took something that's hand drawn or hand painted and they actually brought it to theatrical life. So
yeah. I was very impressed with the special effects in this movie. It was really, really well done. I felt like there was interesting things about the movie that I don't know if I like I agree with all of you. Like it was disjointed. What was it supposed to be? Was it supposed to be super? Was it, and like you said, Charlie, maybe they didn't really know exactly what they were going for. I mean, they kind of did, but the story was disjointed, as you said. But I did like the fact that it was kind of a closed story, right? I mean, there's like 6 people in the entire movie, right? Is that what it is? There's like five youth and then the doctor. That's it. And so it's a very enclosed story. And if you think, even though it's big, if you think about what's going on, it's all small. It's just a small story, right? In a very small space, both literally and figuratively. It was, and I don't know. There was other things like, I kind of gushed on that Anna Taylor-Joy a few minutes ago, but she did a terrible accent in this movie.
Oh yeah,
the accent was awful.
Oh yeah. I don't think
so bad.
The guy who plays Will from Will's brother from Stranger Things, his accent was a little rough too. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it was pretty bad too. Yeah, it was pretty bad. But there was some good scenes that were, like I said, it was just intense. Like when that Will, the guy from Stranger Things, when he kind of gets sucked, as he will, into the dryer and goes in the mine. That's intense. And he gets blown back. And yeah, those characters, that like Slenderman type character was like freaking. I mean, now that is my demon, okay? Yeah. That's how scary it was. I'm just saying. And the wolf girl, with her run in with, this demonic priest or whatever he was, where he brands her again. Did you notice which direction the W was this time, though? It was turned upside down, so now she's a mutant. Did you catch that? I thought that was.
Yeah,
now she's a mutant instead of a wolf, right? Or witch. The first W was supposed to be significant of a witch, and the next one was, I think, supposed to be significant of a mutant, right? That's kind of what I got out of it. I don't know enough I haven't read very many of these comic strips. I've read some Marvel, but very, very limited in my comic book reading. So I don't know a lot about the Essex Corp or anything, just what we've seen in the movies, and that's it. But I don't know. I don't know what to think of this movie either. I don't.
Yeah, see? There were a lot of really cool things that were done, like the development of the blonde character was really cool. I liked that a lot. I liked how scary it could be at times.
Yeah.
I liked how everyone had like their own little demons and how it had this kind of idea of like you still have to fight through your demons, like, and sometimes you need people to help. But there are other things where like, we got a little development from the Brazilian guy. Like we got a little bit of character development, but I feel like we didn't spend a whole lot of time with this character.
Yeah, it's like we did everybody else pretty solidly. We're gonna leave you out.
Yeah, like for some reason he could have had a really cool character, but his was literally like, meh, this happened. Okay, cool. Thanks for telling us that. Now we know why he's sad.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like the only thing we got from him is like he was really horny, but he couldn't do anything about it because he would burn somebody to death. I mean, that's kind of like the whole story arc of this guy. It's like, well, okay then. Like his biggest scene is when the doctor pushes him into the water with the pool thing. I'm like,
yeah. But everybody else seemed to have like really good character development. It's weird to have such great like aspects and then other aspects where it's like, oh man, if you would have done this, this would have been one of my favorite movies. I swear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there was it felt like a bookend, right? Because the thing that was said at the very beginning of the movie about the bear, right, was said at the end of the movie again. So there was a bookend, and of course the whole movie is about this demon bear. What do you want to let out? Do you want to let out the demon side, or do you want to let out the more positive side of things? But they say that quote both at the beginning and the end of the movie, and I thought that was pretty well played. There was a kind of the ending scene where they're walking off into the sunset was a bit cheesy, a bit Hollywoodish, but it is what it is. There were some good points and some bad points, and I almost felt like, okay, I'm going to go there. You guys can write me at simpletonreview.com or simpletonreview@gmail.com. Don't, Charlie, and let me learn. But look, I feel like the kissing scene was forced. It was like, okay, we need to make sure we hit all the Title IX actions and make sure we're being all politically correct. And so let's have a girl kiss another girl. It didn't feel natural at all. I didn't feel like it felt natural. I was like, okay, you're going to build this up into a girl kissing a girl. Great. Who cares? Make us care about the relationship. I didn't care about these two's relationship. I cared about the individuals, but I didn't care about their relationship. And if maybe I would have cared a little bit more about the two together, it wouldn't have felt so like, hey, we're throwing you a bone, people.
See, and I think that's where it's going to hit the teenage audience, is because, that was a flash in the pan, and that's how relationships fly with them.
This is true.
I think that part was just for the teens. I mean, that wasn't written with us in mind at all.
I did feel interesting though, where every time that all of the demons came out, was when she was sleeping or when she was drugged.
Yeah.
But that was the only time that something happened, when she was alive and awake and alert. And she was just, maybe her adrenaline was running a little bit more. But beyond that, every other time was when she was drugged or sleeping. And this was the only time something happened when she was awake. That felt a little discombobulated to me. You know what I'm saying?
I think they just had to speed it up.
Yeah.
I think he's like, okay, we got to end this. Wrap it up, boys. How are you going to do this?
I guess. Well, we've kind of hammered this movie into the ground. It's time to give our scores. I am going to go first, and I'm going to give this movie, I'm going to give it a 2.5. It was good. I enjoyed it. It's a little thought-provoking, but I think after I think about it for a few more days, I'm going to go, yeah, that movie kind of it just fell a little short. That's my attitude on it. So, Lemuel, go ahead. What's your score?
I'm right there with you. There was so many things where if they would have just kept up with certain things that they were doing, it would have been so nice. And I would have liked to see more of Will's character's demon scenes too. That would have been, because it seemed like he had a real tragic story. So it's just I don't know. It's sad. The potential was right there. I don't know. Yeah.
Of course, now we're coming from it from two people who don't read the comic books. So, Charlie, you're coming
again.
You tell me.
I wasn't a fan of this movie. I'll give it a 2.5 as well. It was very pretty. I mean, it was very artistically well done. So that's what's kind of pulling it up story-wise. I don't think the comics are much different. I think that they're always kind of rushed. Because comics are meant to grab not a ton of attention, and they're not made for. Some aren't made with super story writing. Some of them are just kind of put together in continuing saga of So, and I'm sure that there's the series runs a number of years. I don't think it's one of the long running ones like the X-Men or Wolverine or any of the other characters that spun off. I think that this one was probably a short-lived one just to show the life of the company working outside of the tracking of the Wolverine and the mutants that we know of. Mm-hmm. So, so movie-wise, great concept, just didn't play out well. So,
all right, fair enough. That's so 2.5 all around. So, fortunately, the New Mutants does not get the Simpleton Certified rating. But if you like comic book movies, Marvel movies, I mean, this one, go watch it. I mean, if it's
horror movies,
yeah, it's in there. Yeah, like
again,
I said,
visually, you need to catch some of the scenes because they nailed the artwork perfectly for coming off of a comic book that's probably painted really well and everything. The way they translated it into video was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was pretty stunning. I totally agree with that. And, it's a Marvel movie. So if you want to keep up with the Marvel universe, go watch it. It is done in association with Marvel. So it's not like some spin-off that hey, we still own the copyright to the X-Men. Let's make a movie. No,
and look, we can carry this in Redbox for 3 years.
That's right. And
like
Charlie said,
Sharknado or something.
Oh
my gosh. Yeah, well, like Charlie said, it is based off of an actual comic book. It's not something that some movie company said, hey, let's take these characters and create something new. So go check it out if you're interested. Don't want to say don't watch it, but it is not Simpleton Certified, and we thought it was just okay. So it's time now for the next segment here on Simpleton Review, Pop Culture News. Charlie, let's start with you this time. What's going on?
All right, pop culture news. I'm going to switch because I thought we were doing happiness. So
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Which one are we doing? I don't remember. We did happiness last time, I think, didn't we? I don't remember.
No, we did news last time because I did Danny Boyle.
All right.
So,
well, what do you want to do?
We're going to do.
You can choose for us.
We're going to do happiness.
That sounds good. Let's do happiness.
So at work, an employee gave me an idea when I was managing one of the departments at in the warehouse of RC Willey. Was we had Oreo weekend, where on a Saturday I would go get packs of Oreos, and our department would be Oreo Saturday, and we would share them with all the departments around. But so Oreo came out with a nice line. It's Lady Gaga Oreos. Yes, Lady Gaga has her own line of Oreos.
What?
They're a hot pink cookie with a green cream inside.
Do they taste like regular Oreos still, or?
Yeah, they'll just be discolored. I mean, because it's kind of like Hershey's does the Hulk Hershey syrup, which is green.
At least they didn't
Horrible
base it
looking.
off of her meat dress or something.
Yeah, right. See, I'm sure she's going to have an Oreo dress, but they've also created like a little Twitter Easter egg hunt sort of thing. So if you find like the special mark package, you can actually get your own limited signed pack of Oreos from Lady Gaga.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Good. I'm going to go next, Lemmy. I'm going to save you for last. Because you're last. Just saying. All right, so my happiness is, look, I am thoroughly enjoying WandaVision on Disney+. This show is weird, and it's strange, and I don't know what's going on. I mean, it is so weird. So, I mean, and I haven't seen the 4th episode, which dropped on Friday. We're going to watch that tonight, and we'll see how it goes. But, I mean, it's like based off of, like, old comedy shows, right? So like the first one is kind of like the Dick Van Dyke Show kind of thing, or you know, some of the Father Knows Best or something like that from the 50s, Leave It to Beaver or something like that, you know. And then the second episode is like, I mean, it's like, oh, that's Bewitched. I mean, if you've ever watched Bewitched when you were a kid, I know Lemuel probably hasn't. Oh, my green screen's freaking out. Look at that. Ah,
broke it.
It's WandaVision. So it's basically Bewitched. And so every episode, there's like this little tinge of like her reality starts to break up, and you're like, okay, you know, this is weird. I don't know what's going on. And again, I don't know enough about the comics to know some of these things that they're showing. Like this beekeeper comes out of the sewer drain one time, and you know, all these comic book people are like, oh yeah, well, it's this and this and this, or it might be this and this and this, and I'm like, it's a beekeeper. The guy was dressed up as a beekeeper. You know. But then the 3rd episode had this lady who was like not part of her reality, and she kicks her out. And so the last scene is that, and it's in square format, like the whole show is in square format, but then it zooms out to 16:9, and it shows like this whole dome that must be covering where Wanda is at. And then this black lady goes, black lady, that was racist, wasn't it? Well, she's black, okay? She just throws out of the like force, like, you know, I don't know what this covering it, and shield, you know, and she falls on her butt, and all these helicopters come and get her, and I don't know what's going on. Have you guys, either of you watched WandaVision at all?
No.
Nah, I've just heard NPR talk about it.
Oh man, if you haven't watched it,
so is she dressed like a normal person, or is it one of the characters from the Black Panther? Because they have that dome that covers their space.
Who's that? The one that got kicked out of the shield, at the very end, or Wanda?
I don't know. I haven't actually.
Wanda is dressed like whatever.
Yeah.
Like comedy show she's in. And so I can't tell. I mean, the biggest thing is, okay, is she controlling this reality or fantasy, or is some, you know, nefarious entity controlling her fantasy, and she's out, you know, who knows? And so Vision is in it, and he doesn't know what's going on. And is Vision alive? Because how can he be alive? Because he died twice. right? So how can he be alive in WandaVision? So it's an interesting show. If you guys haven't watched it, Disney does this thing where they don't release them all at once like Netflix does. They like to release them every week, like the good old days.
Yeah.
And so they've dropped their 4th episode. I would highly recommend it. It is bubblegum TV, but it's really funky. 20 to 30 minutes long each episode. It's just like a half-hour sitcom, so it doesn't take any time at all. You could binge the 3 episodes in less than 2 hours and be caught up. So I would highly recommend it. If you haven't watched it, check out WandaVision. It is what's making me very happy right now. So
All right,
if we got all of our happiness in, Lemuel, I tried to forget about you again, but I just couldn't.
Yeah. Darn. All right, so mine is a typical. A game came out earlier called Hitman 3. I haven't been able to play it myself, but it's been really fun to watch other people play it, because the whole point of the Hitman series in general is to like take out certain targets in like these crazy creative ways. And these most recent ones that have been coming out have been like these huge maps. Like each game usually drops with like 3 or 4 huge maps at the beginning of its life cycle, and you just like they give you certain ways that you can find that are like meant to happen, but they also let you just do whatever you want to defeat these targets. So it's just really fun to watch people just get creative with it and stuff.
Cool. All right. Well, it's a video game, so
Of course, it makes you happy.
Hey,
glad it's making you happy, Lamb.
hey, they keep me out of the real world, so the real world's kind of.
I thought you were
Keep
saying
me out of the bars this weekend.
Yeah, that's right too.
Keep me off the streets. Hey, I don't have to worry about my meth problem I used to have.
True.
I still have all my teeth.
Yeah.
Still have all my teeth. Except for the 20 I lost before video games.
Darn.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm supposed to say this on every episode, and this is the first episode I've actually remembered to say. Like and subscribe if you like our show, which I hope you do. We're just a couple of old farts and a young dude talking about movies and music and whatever makes us happy. So please like and subscribe. Tell all your friends about the Simpleton Review. We'd love to have you. This is Nate Simpleton.
And I'm Charlie Simpleton.
I'm Lemuel Simpleton.
Like and subscribe! Like and subscribe! Have a great one.